Alrighty, Koops and Cool Umbrella went at it in one of the worst matchups in the game for Slaanesh, but this was part of Cool Umbrella's tabletop style tournament where you build an army before you even know who your opponent is, and you take that army through the whole tournament. So this matchup is a lot less haggard if Nurgle doesn't know he's fighting Slaanesh, because then we don't get the Kugoth blob. So for the Slaanesh build that was designed to take on any comers, we do have 2 Hellstriders of Slaanesh, 2 Furies, we have some Devoted Marauders with Hell Scourges and Spears, 1 Chosen of Slaanesh with Hell Scourges, the Bringers of Guilement Exalted Demonette ROR, and then we have an Exalted Keeper of Secrets of Slaanesh with Acquiescence, Slicing Shards, Lash of Slaanesh, and then the Ballets of Blow and Seductive Glory passives. Well, not passives, but, you know, the non-spell abilities. On the other side, for Nurgle, we do have some Chaos Warhounds, just a swamp of Nurgle Mantide. We have Marauders, Nurglings, some Marauders with great weapons, the Barons of the Bog, Poxrider, ROR. We do have, I think, 2 Skirmish Cav with Throwing Axes, 3 Skirmish Cav with Throwing Axes, 4 dogs overall. We do have an Exalted Great Unclean One of Nurgle with only Fleshy Abundance, and then his Mortis Engine ability, but we used to see these guys a lot pre-Immortal Empires. Before the Kugoth Plaguefather buffs, these guys were the de facto Nurgle Lord with their Mortis Engine, because if you remember way back in the day, Kugoth did not have a Mortis Engine effect for some reason. So these guys were taken, they were really good duelists, good casters, good Mortis Engines, overall just solid, so it is a pleasure to see one again. Honestly, yeah, I don't mind them. Nurgle's playstyle is pretty meh overall, but these guys are neat. Frontlines have collided. Slaanesh is outmanned and outgunned on this front, though some of the Nurglings are in a far flanking position, so maybe Slaanesh can bust through the front line. Who knows? Casters of Slaanesh do commit to a fight against these Marauder Horsemen. They get some decent damage, but they are going to sacrifice their lives for it, and that's like 1,200 or 1,100 gold gone for Slaanesh, so a little bit of a rough start for them. The Exalted Keeper of Secrets and these Hellstriders, though, are hoping to even things up a little bit, and Hellstriders will trade very cost effectively here, especially with a rear charge like this. Dogs are already starting to tear her out, probably going to tear her out again. And yeah, this turned into a really good fight. Ooh, and a rampage onto the Marauder Horsemen, drawing them back into the fight where the Hellstriders can just murder them. That is going extremely well for Slaanesh after what looked like a bad play. On the far side, the Slaanesh front line is winning 1-1. It's just when it becomes a 2 or a 3v1 is going to be the problem. Because this is a Nurgling tide, my friends. It's a Nurgling tide. 1,500 for Nurgle troops is a lot. Bringers of Guilement easily slap through some Marauders. Are these Chosen? Where are the Chosen? The Chosen of Slaanesh are still like full HP! That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Hold on, what's the damage from these Marauders of Nurgle? They have 44 damage value after fighting these Chosen forever. That is hilarious. Because the Chosen of Slaanesh, I mean, what do they have? 70 melee defense, 120 armor, plus 20%, 10% physical resistance. Yeah, these guys they got nothing. That's awesome. Alright, those Hellstriders routed off everything back here. Good play from Slaanesh. Balance of power is about even, maybe slightly Slaanesh favored, and I would tend to agree, though Nurgle still has tons of skin in this game. A Narcissism cast onto the Barons of the Bog, followed up by a Slicing Shards. Is that even going to do damage? I don't know. These Nurglings might accidentally walk into it, so that'll be a little bit of... Is that ever going to cast, or what are we doing here? There we go. We finally cast. Yeah, it didn't do that much damage. It's not generally that good versus unclumped cavalry, especially not monstrous cavalry or war beasts or whatever you want to call these things. Alright. Slaanesh still doing okay. They're regrouping their Chosen, their Exalted Demonettes and such, but a lot of their chaff has been pushed off. As for Nurgle, a lot of his chaff has also been pushed off. He just still has more. He always has more. The only thing I worry about for Nurgle is carry potential. Like, what can kill these Chosen? I guess just the Exalted Great Unclean One's Mortis Engine is going to have to do some serious work. Marauder Horseman, another Rampage, is going to maybe draw them into the Bringers of Beguilement, who will tear them limb from limb. And Hellstriders, meanwhile, get a rear charge of some Nurglings really trying to take them out. I don't know. Some people say Nurglings are good. I'm usually quite underwhelmed by them, but maybe I'm just bad. Maybe I'm mad because bad. Exalted Keeper of Secrets is over there, pushing through some Marauders right now, has attack orders onto the big fat boy. Meanwhile, dogs are pushed off, and Nurglings are getting awful close to getting their demonic instability procced. More rampages, this one from the Bringers of Beguilement, which means the Marauder Horsemen are still stuck in combat. He's chosen of Slaanesh. Proud, fetish-enjoying whip boys coming to join the fight. Anyway, Exalted Keeper of Secrets not quite find the Greater Unclean One. Now she will. And does she have her Ballet of Blows? Yes, it has just started. So it is going to be a ramping, increasing buff that eventually wears off, but for now it's at its lowest form. You will start to see the Exalted Great Unclean One with 55, 35 melee stats, even while getting debuffed or whatever. He's a rather potent melee combatant. He has really good attack animations, strong weapon strength at 550, a lot of it armor piercing, so he ain't so bad. Ballet of Blows is still ramping up, 74 melee attack for the lady at this moment, but she is just going to back off, decides it's not worth it. What is that? Nurglings are disintegrating away. More Nurglings disintegrating away around the board, and still Slaanesh holds a very, very slight lead on the balance of power. Bringers of Beguilement fighting at the very end as more Devoted Marauders are pushed away. We have Hellstriders standing off, waiting for anything to chase around the map. Something's behind me. Oh, it's dogs. Okay. Hello, dog. They won't last long. But can the Barons of the Bog, paired up with the Exalted Great Unclean One, can they really carry this whole game? Or is Nurgle going down? Let's find out, as more Devoted Marauders are going to jump in, commit to the fight, start getting Mortis drained. Dog's looking to get one last rear charge, it looks like, on these Hellstriders or something. Just because their leadership is so bad. But yeah, as soon as the Hellstriders countercharge, these guys are going to break. Boop! And shoot. They are gone. Another slicing charge from Slaanesh. This one going to do some friendly fire to the Devoted Marauders, but it looks like it's mostly aimed at the Nurgle Marauders and Nurglings. Trying to finish them off, get rid of any chaff that could be protecting the Exalted Great Unclean One. Boop! Still underwhelming, underwhelming damage in my opinion, but I don't know. I'm a Slicing Shards hater. I accepted it. Nurglings start to officially fade. Marauders real close to getting pushed off, and Barons of the Bog are almost heal capped. Those Exalted Great Unclean One has taken very little damage from what we can see. Gonna fast forward for a little bit here as he just Mortis Engines down and he heals up his Barons of the Bog again with Fleshy Abundance. Now we get a charge in from the Keeper of Secrets. She has Ballet of Blows back off cooldown. She throws it down again. Seductive Glory also off cooldown. Chucks it down on that guy. But again, even 55-26 for his debuff stats, he is giving her some real hell. And the problem for the Exalted Keeper of Secrets is she doesn't have nearly as much easy healing as Nurgle can get. So every blow on her sticks, while every blow on the Exalted Great Unclean One just gets sucked into the fleshy pot. She's still dancing it out, still balleting those blows. And it is up to its maximum capacity now, 39 melee attack, giving her 89 total. And Hellstriders charge back in, but these Barons of the Bog are just making it really difficult for anything to get anything done around here. Last Marauders of Nurgle that even could possibly rally are getting chased down by the Hellstriders. Looks like they have attack orders onto them, so this rear charge should seal their fate, may even put them into shattering territory. We will see. Chosen with Hellscourges have been standing off. Looks like they really don't want to bump and grind with the Exalted Great Unclean One until they have to. That Mortis Engine is real risky for them. And the Slaanesh is out of shit besides that. I mean, these Hellstriders, you can see they're also suffering a terrible, terrible fate. Now they're stuck with the Barons of the Bog. The Keeper of Secrets is just trying to cycle charge as best she can. She can't really get any damage to stick on this Exalted Great Unclean One. Having a lot of trouble. There's a weird wind effect going on right now that's kind of right in the middle of where I need to be, but fine. It's fine. Barons of the Bog for leadership. Can they get into disintegrating territory? There it is. They start taking a little bit of damage. That little bit will turn into a lot. And there. At least their AoE debuff of the weapon strength will go away in a second here. You see the Chosen just bump right back up to 35 weapon strength from 24. So Barons of the Bog, pretty huge deal for that. Times 2 speed, as we do get a little bit of bump and grind. Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh pushed off. More Devoted Marauders pushed off. Exalted Keeper of Secrets is trying to run away, but it does take a good amount of damage. And they try to proc a Rampage onto this guy. Big damage coming out onto him without the weapon strength debuff of his little frog friends, plus their bodies blocking him. He actually takes a lot of damage from that Hellstrider charge and from this Exalted Keeper of Secrets. It's just whooping his ass right now, putting the real hurt on him. His Chosen are slowly getting ground to the dirt. She throws out a quick whip off to the side, knows it won't deal any damage to him, just wanted the army-wide melee attack buff. Hellstriders are back in. These guys have 1,900 damage value. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is a lot. That is a lot of damage value. That is a ton. That is several million. But at last, the Exalted Keeper of Secrets and her Chosen with Hell Scourges are able to kill off the greater Nurgle Demon, and they were the only two things left on the map, so. Got a little risky there. For Koops and his Hellstriders, 3,400 on the caster, 1,500 on the Exalted Demon at ROR, 1,900 and 800 on the Hellstriders. Jesus Christ. Furies got murked. Marauders did fine. Chosen with Hell Scourges did fine. Marauders overall did quite well. For Cool Umbrella, 4,100 on the Exalted Great Unclean One. 1,100 on the Barons of the Bog. Skirmish Cav got caught out by Rampages and Hellstriders and stuff, so they got effectively pushed off. Dogs also had troubles making a contribution. Marauders did their best to help out. Nurglings did their best to help out, but it was mostly just the Greater Unclean One trying to carry. GG's. Roar.
Subscribe, yes, yes.